You ever tried explaining yourself to someone who already decided you're the villain? You're sitting there sweating, trying to defend your intentions, and they're just sitting there, nodding in total sarcasm. That's when it hits you. You're not explaining to understand. You're explaining to survive. And that, my friend, is how people lose their peace, their power, and their damn sanity. Trying to defend themselves in situations where silence would have screamed louder. So today we're talking about 5 situations you should never defend yourself. Because sometimes the strongest move isn't fighting back. It's letting the other person look stupid while you keep your peace. Let's get into it. 1. When someone has already made up their mind about you. You can't argue with a fixed mindset. You can only exhaust yourself. If someone already decided that you're the bad guy, trust me, they're not looking for the truth. They're looking for confirmation. You could hand them receipts, screenshots, a PowerPoint presentation narrated by Morgan Freeman, and they'll still twist it. Because deep down, their ego needs you to be wrong. So, what do? You shut up and move on. The moment you realize you don't owe them an explanation, you reclaim your peace. Silence is the loudest "I don't care" in existence. You see, defending yourself in that moment doesn't make you noble. It makes you look guilty, even when you're not. So next time someone starts arguing with the version of you they made up in their head, let them argue with themselves. 2. When you're being misunderstood by someone who wants to misunderstand you. You know this type, the professional victim. You could literally say, "Good morning," and they'll twist it into, "Are you calling me lazy?" These are people who crave drama because it makes them feel important. They'll drag your name, play the victim, and act like your existence personally attacked them. And your natural instinct is to defend yourself, right? To clear things up. Nah, that's the trap. Because defending yourself feeds their ego. They suddenly become the center of your emotional energy. The truth is, some people need you to be the villain so they can stay the hero of their own pathetic story. So, stop performing in their drama. If they want to believe lies, let them. You're not a public relations manager for every misunderstanding. You're not required to give out mental clarifications like press releases. People who love and respect you won't need an explanation. People who don't won't believe it anyway. 3. When someone is committed to misinterpreting your silence or actions. The overthinkers who create imaginary arguments and then act like you owe them an apology for their hallucinations. You text late, they assume you're mad. You stay quiet, they assume you're guilty. You move different, they assume you've changed. And then when you try to explain, they gaslight you. "Oh, you're just being defensive." "No, Karen, I'm being logical." "You're just allergic to common sense." Here's the truth. If someone can't read your silence as peace instead of punishment, that's their insecurity speaking, not your problem. You don't owe emotional translation services to people who refuse to grow up. Let them misinterpret you. It's fine, because no matter what you say, they'll twist it to fit their emotional fantasy. And you've got better things to do than play defense in someone else's imagination league. 4. When you're trying to prove your worth. Let's be real, this one hurts because everyone at some point has begged to be seen, begged to be understood, begged to be enough. You start listing your achievements, your sacrifices, the things you've done right, hoping it'll make people finally value you, but it never works, does it? Because people who don't respect you won't start respecting you just because you proved yourself. They'll just move the goalpost again. "Oh, you think you're so great now?" "Yes, Brenda, I am great, but apparently you need me to be miserable so you can feel equal." Here's the thing. The moment you start explaining your worth, you've already discounted it. You're not supposed to defend your value, you're supposed to embody it. Next time someone doubts what you bring to the table, don't talk. Just build another table. Real power doesn't beg to be understood. It just moves in silence and lets results make the noise. 5. When the argument isn't about truth, it's about ego. You ever been in one of those debates that feels like a black hole for your sanity? No one's listening. No one's learning. It's just two egos fencing with words, trying to win a battle that doesn't even have a prize. And suddenly you're defending yourself. Not because you care, but because you don't want to lose. That's how people waste years fighting meaningless wars. Sometimes silence isn't weakness, it's tactical dominance, because the one who walks away from a pointless argument isn't losing. They're conserving energy. Arguing with a fool doesn't prove you're right. It just proves you had time to waste. You can't fix ignorance by debating it. You can only frustrate yourself trying. You don't have to attend every argument you're invited to. Some invitations deserve a polite decline and a blocked number. Now, listen, I know what you're thinking, but if I don't defend myself, people will think I'm weak. Wrong. People will think you're unbothered. They'll think you're too high up to be dragged into low-level nonsense. You see, strong people aren't the ones who always clap back. Strong people are the ones who could, but don't. They're too busy building, healing, and evolving to stop and explain themselves to small minds. Every time you choose silence over drama, you're leveling up in self-control. Every time you refuse to argue, you're proving emotional maturity. And every time you stop defending yourself, you're saying, I know who I am. I don't need you to. So, here's the brutal truth. Defending yourself all the time is a symptom of insecurity. It means you're still trying to convince people who don't deserve your energy. And people who constantly misunderstand you, let them. Let them gossip. Let them assume, let them choke on their own narratives. You're not here to manage their perception. You're here to master your peace. Let me leave you with this. The world is full of noise, opinions, assumptions, judgments, gossip. But peace? Peace is earned by the ones who stop explaining. So, next time someone drags your name, misunderstands your silence, or paints you as the villain, smile. Walk away. Let their words echo in an empty room while your silence builds empires. Because when you stop defending yourself in the wrong places, you finally have the energy to defend your dreams, your growth, and your future. And that, my friend, is how you become untouchable. You don't need to prove who you are. Let them find out when it's too damn late. The comment of the day goes to Casual Guy, and it reads, "This video is a wake-up call for every man out there. It's not about impressing others or chasing external validation. It's about taking responsibility for yourself and building real strength from within. The message that true masculinity comes from knowing and respecting yourself, regardless of external noise, really resonates. The idea of standing alone and embracing your own identity is empowering. Thanks for sharing this powerful perspective. It's a reminder that life truly begins when we stop trying to fit into someone else's story and start living our own. A must-watch for any man who wants to build a life with purpose and conviction." This comment sounds like it was typed while he sat cross-legged on a mountain, holding a cup of hot moral tea. You wrote a whole motivational seminar in the comment section, but I respect it. Sometimes you have to preach to yourself before life preaches to you.